Liverpool fans, big summer drama is unfolding at Anfield. Is Salah really set to leave? Has Klopp been approached by rivals? And what does Arne Slot's latest decision mean for the future of this club? I got all the breaking updates and behind-the-scenes details you need to know. Before we dive in, make sure you smash that like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss daily Liverpool transfer news. Let's get into it. Liverpool told him Mo Salah will definitely quit club in the summer. He will be leaving. Mohamed Salah continues to be linked with a summer exit despite returning to the Liverpool team, and Tim Sherwood is convinced that the Egypt star will quit Anfield this year. Tim Sherwood is in no doubt that Mohamed Salah will call time on his incredible Liverpool career this summer, saying he is 100% sure the Egypt star will decide to move on. Speculation over the future of Liverpool's talisman has been rife ever since Salah, 33, took aim at Arne Slot earlier this season. Things have calmed down since an explosive mixed zone interview back in December, where Salah accused Slot of throwing him under the bus, and his return to the Dutchman's starting lineup following time away at the Africa Cup of Nations. Salah has failed to hit the same unbelievable levels he did last season in front of goal, but he did score and assist in the Reds' FA Cup triumph over Brighton at the weekend, hinting at a return to form. But Sherwood doesn't believe the fact Salah is back in the team changes anything when it comes to the attacker's future, adding he is certain the player will opt to leave Liverpool. He told Sky Sports, "Let's get it straight. I think he is one of the best foreign imports we've seen in the Premier League. There's no question that he's had a dip in form this season. There's been some issues between him and the manager, whatever those issues are. I think 100% he will be leaving in the summer, and I think he's having a swan song now." After praising Salah's contribution as a player to both Liverpool and to the Premier League, Sherwood doubled down, adding, "In my opinion, I think he 100% leaves that club and he gets a fantastic ovation at the end of the season, whether that's a bit of silverware or not. He deserves silverware, he certainly does, but whatever happens, he's been a magnificent servant to the club." Salah signed a new 2-year contract last April, meaning he is committed to the Premier League champions until 2027. Speaking at the weekend, Virgil van Dijk made it clear that he hopes Salah will remain at Anfield for the remainder of his contract despite speculation to the contrary. "The situation is what it is," the Liverpool captain said. "The full focus is on trying to make the season a success first, and we will see how then the season ends, and then you never know what happens. I always wanted Mo to stay because I'm a good friend of him, and we've been through the highs and not so highs. I don't want to call them lows. Together for so many years. The same as me, he's got one more year. So we will see." Jurgen Klopp approached by Manchester United and Chelsea. As former Liverpool boss Stance explained, Jurgen Klopp's agent has revealed the former Liverpool boss was approached by Manchester United and Chelsea after leaving Anfield. Jurgen Klopp's agent has revealed both Manchester United and Chelsea made approaches for the former Liverpool boss following his departure from Anfield, and Bayern Munich failed in an attempt to lure Klopp away from the Reds when they were Champions League winners, and on their way to lifting the Premier League. Klopp stepped away from the dugout when he ended a 9-year stint in charge at Liverpool in May 2024, instead beginning his current role as Red Bull's head of global football the following January. Nevertheless, the 58-year-old continues to be linked with high-profile vacant managerial roles, the most recent of which saw him touted as a possible replacement for the sacked Xabi Alonso at Real Madrid before former Liverpool defender Alvaro Arbeloa was appointed interim head coach. And while playing down suggestions Klopp could again become a manager, his longtime agent Mark Kozik has detailed how Liverpool's Premier League rivals wanted the services of the Anfield legend. Asked about his client returning to the dugout, Kozik said, "At the moment, I don't see that happening, because he's very happy with his new role and in this environment. Maybe at some point he'll say he needs to smell the locker room again. But at the moment he's very, very happy in his role." Before joining Red Bull, Jurgen could have coached the USA or England national teams. Probably also Germany, if Julian Nagelsmann hadn't already been there. Even Chelsea and Manchester United inquired, although Jurgen had clearly stated that he would not coach any other club in England. These inquiries haven't stopped. Jurgen has undergone a metamorphosis, moving away from being a coach with a broad perspective towards more management responsibilities. In an exclusive interview with Transfermarkt, Kozik also discussed an approach from Bayern, while Klopp was at the height of his powers at Liverpool. Bayern came very close to signing us twice, he said. Once in 2008. Uli Hoeneß wanted Jurgen Klopp, but Karl-Heinz Rummenigge wanted Jurgen Klinsmann. And after Niko Kovac, who was sacked in November 2019, when Jurgen was at Liverpool, they approached us again. Nobody thought things would be so successful with eventual Bayern boss, Hansi Flick. There just wasn't the right momentum. Arne Slot has made immediate Liverpool future clear, with one decision in his latest column. John Aldridge reflects on an important week for Liverpool and how Milos Kerkez is now finding his feet. Liverpool could easily have become disheartened and disillusioned after what happened at the end of the game against Manchester City last weekend. But their reaction to that difficult defeat has been excellent. First, a hard-earned Premier League win at Sunderland, and then comfortable FA Cup progress against Brighton on Saturday evening. It was a good win against the Seagulls. They may be underperforming in the league, but they won at Manchester United in the last round and can give any team a proper match on their day. We could have had 5 goals in the end because of some wrong calls from the officials, with Rio Ngumaha particularly unlucky to have a goal chalked off. I love the first goal, which saw Milos Kerkez set up Curtis Jones to score. You don't often see one full-back assisting another, and it showed good awareness from the pair of them. It was a special goal. I'd call for Arne Slot to go strong in the competition, and I was glad to see him pick such a recognizable team. Even if there were a couple of changes, maybe it was a surprise Alisson Becker started, but it was just as well given a save from Diego Gomez toward the end of the first half. That's 2 clean sheets in a row, and that will give the defense in particular a lot of confidence. There was a lot less sense of panic toward the end of the Sunderland game when defending a narrow lead, and that has to be the way between now and the end of the season. With the margin so tight in the 3 remaining competitions, Liverpool can't afford any big mistakes. Do that in a cup, and you'll probably be out. Do that in the league, and it might be the end of our top 4 hopes. One thing that continues to worry me, though, is that we are starting games so slowly. It's almost become notorious. Perhaps it has always been a way under Slot, who values control more than the high-octane approach of the early years with Jurgen Klopp in charge. But it has become much more noticeable this season. It means, especially in home games, there isn't a lot on the pitch to get the crowd going. It's undoubtedly a deliberate ploy so Liverpool can work out their game plan and the opposition before picking up the tempo and getting a foothold in the game. But the problem is the other teams are now getting onto it, and some are starting quickly in an attempt to catch us out. It can look as though we are giving our opponents too much respect rather than believing in ourselves a bit more. I can understand the approach given the poor results of earlier in the season, but that was a while ago. We need to start faster now. And with the title defense out the window, there's now no reason for Liverpool not to go as strong as possible in the FA Cup. It's becoming a real chance of silverware. Kirk is becoming confident what a change in fortunes has been for Milos Kerkez. He was Liverpool's best player against Brighton, and it isn't the only game recently where he has impressed. Sometimes people forget how difficult it can be to make the step up to play for Liverpool. Even though Kerkez has Premier League experience, there's a world of difference playing in front of 10,000 every other week at Bournemouth to then stepping out for the Reds where the interest and pressure is enormous. Manchester United are the only English club who can rival Liverpool in that regard. The size of the club cannot be underestimated. Kerkez definitely struggled at first and wasn't helped by playing in an underperforming team, but he is now blossoming, and has shown the players we signed last summer all have massive potential and are already starting to deliver on that. And as a left back, Kerkez is already demonstrating some of the dynamics brought to the team by Andy Robertson over the years. He is proving a worthwhile replacement. Ex-Liverpool winger admits to Ibrahima Konate transfer U-turn. Wanting to stay after a difficult start to the season, Konate is beginning to show the sort of imperious form that helped lead Liverpool to the Premier League title last year. Former Liverpool winger Jermaine Pennant has changed his mind on Ibrahima Konate and revealed he now hopes the centre-back will remain at the Reds beyond this summer. Konate's long-term future at Anfield looks uncertain, with the defender's contract set to expire at the end of the season. Despite the club remaining in dialogue with the 26-year-old, there have been no breakthroughs in talks. The prospect of losing Konate for free may have felt less alarming earlier this season, when the Frenchman made several high-profile errors. Even Arne admitted he had been a bit too much at the crime scene this term. But Konate's performance levels have improved drastically since the turn of the year, in particular over recent weeks, with the former RB Leipzig man impressing since returning to the team in the last 4 games. Those performances have been enough to convince Pennant that Konate is deserving of a new deal at Anfield. Speaking on the latest episode of TalkSport's Inside Liverpool show, Pennant said, "I've been one of his critics because I can only go on what I'm seeing week in, week out, and the performances weren't there. If you're not putting in performances, you're making mistakes. You're putting yourself up for fair criticism. But now, he's showing what he was the season previous to that, which is fantastic. If he can stay in that kind of form and consistency, then of course we love him. We want him to stay and sign a new contract, just as long as it may continue. So whatever he's done over the Christmas period, continue to do that." Meanwhile, Virgil van Dijk last week revealed he hopes Konate commits his long-term future to Liverpool. "We are friends. We speak about everything," said the captain after the recent victory over Sunderland. "It's a process, and let's see what comes out of it. It's never that easy. Obviously, I want him to stay. He's an important figure on the pitch. That's what everyone sees, but off the pitch as well. He's one of the leaders. He's outstanding and, in my eyes, a world-class center-back. I can do only so much, but it's in the club's hands, together with his agents and himself. So let's see what comes out of it. I have no influence otherwise on that." Cody Gakpo's private feelings over Liverpool's situation as transfer comments emerged. Former Manchester United coach Rene Meulensteen has shared his thoughts on Cody Gakpo's situation at Liverpool and suggested the player could look for another challenge in the future. Manchester United coach Rene Meulensteen has suggested what Cody Gakpo is happy with life at Liverpool for now. Gakpo has been at Anfield for 3 years following his switch from PSV Eindhoven in January 2023. The Netherlands international has found a net 48 times in 162 outings for Liverpool since his arrival, playing a crucial part in the club's Premier League triumph under manager Arne. Gakpo has enjoyed consistent playing time since Slot took charge at Liverpool in 2024, though his goal-scoring form has dipped this campaign with just 7 strikes in all competitions. Slot has given Gakpo 20 starting bursts in the Premier League this season, yielding 5 goals in England's top division, with his most recent league goal arriving in early January against Fulham. Liverpool confirmed in August that Gakpo had pledged his long-term commitment to Anfield by putting pen to paper on fresh terms to prolong his spell with the Reds. Ex-United coach Rene Meulensteen has outlined why he thinks Gakpo is content with his situation at Liverpool, whilst hinting that the Reds' number 18 might eventually seek pastures new. Cody Gakpo likes it at Liverpool with the Dutch coaching staff there, with Arne and everything. There shouldn't be any issue. Meulensteen said in an interview with Betgoat, "Obviously, he hasn't possibly played as regularly as he did last season, and that also has to do with confidence. When players play week in, week out, you know they're going to get the spot, and you know what he's good at. Hanging on the left-hand sideline, coming inside, and then bending one in. That is his strength, but also a little bit of his weakness. He's not the greatest at going on the outside and putting a cross in or a cutback, so he likes to come inside. When the opposition sees that, they analyze that, they double it up, and then it becomes a bit of a problem. He's got plenty of things going for him, in my opinion. But like plenty of other players at Liverpool, they haven't really hit the same heights. Not only Gakpo, but also Mo Salah. You know how important he is. He hasn't scored a goal for a while. So it could well be that maybe, if they want to revamp the team a little bit, it could well be that maybe Gakpo is the one that might be looking for another challenge. Who knows? But he's still a good player, very important for the Dutch national team as well. And every time he's played for the Dutch national team, he's been doing really, really well.